Hey, what's up, my Logify? Thank you so much. I'm glad you think it's an awesome sound. So, like, my idea is guys may have heard this track in like some previous videos that I've posted. I'm kind of feeling like I want to create like a synthwave kind of vibe, um, and I don't want to recreate like everything from scratch because a lot of the stuff like the bass sound and the kick and the snare, a lot of the drum sounds I kind of want to keep. Like say for example, if I do expand the idea and want to create like an album or EP or something, I kind of want to have this sort of homogeneous sound with the low end and the percussions and stuff. So what I've done is I've actually just saved this as a new file or as a new folder, and I want to recreate. My thoughts with this stream is to kind of dive more into. I don't want to say music theory because it's not really my strong suit, but I kind of want to work on melodies and chords and that kind of thing. And I think it's difficult to approach those kinds of things with psytrance because you're quite limited to how the bass changes and that kind of thing. Whereas, yeah, that's why I thought this is a really good sort of context to do that. So, yeah, I'm just going to jump in and start experimenting a little bit. A lot of these sounds I have kind of like bounced down to audio, but I do have a lot of the MIDIs still here, so we can kind of piece things together a little bit. But like I said, I do kind of want to change things up a little bit, maybe create like a new chord structure, a new melody, and like a new progression for the bass and stuff. So yeah, we're just going to be experimenting here a little bit, I think. And yeah, I'm open to suggestions if you guys like think like I should change specific chords or while I'm working, just, hit me up in the chat. I was also thinking like I maybe want to add in like a drum roll, like a sort of something with a lot of reverb, similar to like that 80s kind of like like Genesis kind of toms, that vibe. I think that could be cool to like really give power to these drops. But I think most importantly, let's try figure out maybe what key we want to work in here. So let's see if we can find some a nice sound for these chords. Oh, it's nice. A bit trancey. Actually, now that you mention it, ARP 2600, yes and no. I kind of want more of a polyphonic sound, but now that you mention it, my mind kind of went to DCO 106 could be actually really, really cool for wide kind of pad sounds. I'm probably just going to cycle through a bunch of presets. With this type of thing, I'm not really so well versed in just wants me to log in here again for some reason. I'm not so well versed kind of with this genre, so in terms of like sound design and stuff, it might be a little bit limited. But let's just see what we come up with, you know. That's your old synthwave track. Yeah, it is now. It's gonna be my new synthwave track. I just want to piece together a few sounds that we can work with, and then maybe look at changing and finding like a new key. Oh, perfect. I think the attack on the sound is a little bit long. It's kind of like taking a bit too long to kind of like get to the sound, if you know what I mean. A little bit more sustain. Yeah. Or maybe we can do like a LFO or something on a filter there. Give it like some wobble or something. I think that could be cool. But yeah, I think it could be a cool opportunity now that we've got like a pretty basic sound going with the beat. We can start experimenting with trying to find like a cool kind of chord structure, something that we can work with here. So there's so many different ways we can do this in Cubase. I mean, we could use like the chord assistant or something. Vocoded Vox. Yeah, we're going to get to all sorts of things. But I think let me pop open the chord assistant and then I can just like start throwing in chords and experimenting that way. Patrick Chooser. Yeah, you're right. It's actually an interesting thing with when things get detuned like that. When there's no delay in reverb, there's no time-based effect. Our brain picks that up as actual pitch movement. But when there's something like a delay on it, you have, for example, the original wave that's getting bent and modulated, and then you have the other wave which is being bent and modulated, but at a slightly different time because of those delays. And because it's kind of such a complex thing happening with so many different waves and modulations, your brain just picks it up as kind of one sound that is a bit unison-y, if that makes sense, rather than those pure tones being modulated. They totally changed how this thing works, and I haven't actually dived into into how to change it to how it was before. So for example, you could cycle through whether it was in major or minor. I can't quite figure that out anymore. I think we may have to actually choose here somewhere, actually set the key for the entire thing, this entire assistant, if you know what I mean. No, I don't want to clear the pad. No. No, it's not transpose. Maybe there's a preset or something. You know what, actually, there's another way. If we add a chord track here, and then we punch in these, and we can change this, for example, to C minor, and then this should give us choices here. And then what we can do is we can set this to monitor on the DCO 106 track. I wonder if this MIDI modifier will come through, or if we have to actually put a MIDI insert here. Let's just see if this works. But again, I think it thinks I'm in C major. Oh, here, that's... What? I'm sure I set it to C minor. It still thinks I'm in major. Maybe I've got to set it up here on the side somewhere. Maybe automatic scales off. Let's actually set the scale here. C minor. Yeah, now it seems to be working. Strange. This chord is actually nice. It does something interesting, but it does this weird, like, it creates this weird tension which feels like it needs to resolve, like, around about here. So let's just see if we can add, like, another one in there and experiment with some notes. I'm not sure if this will work, but it does sound kind of cool. I think we're just going overboard here. I think that's not working. That's the chords from the intro of A Clockwork Orange, is it not? We're doing this, ladies and gentlemen. Clockwork Orange Synthwave remix. Shit, but I was supposed to change the key. What'll happen if we like transpose it like down one? Will it still sound like Clockwork Orange? Give it time to set in. that's it. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone tuning in. See you guys. I'm joking. Damn, it sounds cool. It must be that cha-cha at the end that reminds you of Billie Jean. Oh god, I gotta change it then. It's just a riser, we can use that again, I'm sure. That's not cheating. Everyone uses the same vengeance one anyway. Perfect. Jean-Claude Van Damme fucking kickboxing. That's the exact vibe, guys. We can maybe try to do like some sort of ARP thing which reacts to the key changes in this progression. So using like the main notes in the chord, and then every so often maybe just put in a couple of like the other notes in the scale. Oh, beautiful. It's like Daft Punk vibes there. No, we got to do something a little bit interesting, I think, with the rhythm. It can't just be... Let's maybe put in one note, so it's like a sequence of 5 notes. What would be the next logical one in the chord would be the next G. Feels as though it skips a beat here. See, okay, I think maybe if we shift this to the end and move it all down, it should sound less like it's skipping a beat. Why is that here? Interesting. Something is too much for my computer to handle here. As soon as I felt that, like, I pressed Control S. That's like my thing. Is like as soon as I feel that, like, because I'm usually like nodding my head to the beat. As soon as I feel like, okay, it's not on the beat anymore, I hit Control S. Thanks though. We need more people to remind us to save in our lives. Is Cubase your new playground? I'm always on Cubase, my dude. For like the past 20 years or so. Tiago, how's it going, dude? Just out of curiosity, why Supervision and Curve EQ on the monitor insert list? Because Supervision is the boss of all analyzer plugins. So the reason it's there is because I've got like a bunch of different screens. It seems I'm having network issues. Fancy that. Just let me know if it's like glitching on your guys' side or if it's all good. So the reason it's there is because that's like always on my other screen, and I can just see like what's happening with the frequencies, with the phase and all that kind of thing. And then Curve EQ over here, that's just to kind of keep my mix in check. This is like a reference track that I've kind of imprinted there. So as you can see, there's like too much mids happening here, but that's often what happens like while I'm producing the track, while I'm putting sounds in, because as you hear them, you kind of like get excited by those particular sounds or something like that, you know? Why not in the stereo out? Because here on the control room, it's like across all your projects. So if I open another project, it stays exactly the same. Like the setup is, I don't have to change it, if that makes sense. So this is like outside of the project. And also you guys don't hear anything that's happening with this. So for example, I've got like Sonar Works here and stuff. I actually should just remove this plugin, because I'm using the sound ID thing, even though I'm still having a few issues with it. I just want to figure out what it is that's doing this, that's abusing my CPU like this. Is it DCO? Because I see there was like an update or something happening there in the background. So let me just render both of these. I need to quickly run to the bathroom. So I want to render those and remove them from the project one by one and just see what's causing that much CPU disturbance. And Dank Zappa, how you doing? Then I will work on the drums. If I'm missing anything, you guys can just at me and it like pops up on my screen in red, so it's much easier for me to see. Some kind of evil when he concentrates like this. Was that when I was making that melody? Like an evil scientist. Hey bro, how are you? How are you, Buzz? Easy Ghoul. Do you still use Falcon? And if so, where does it generally fall into your workflow? Well, yeah, it falls exactly here in my workflow. I made the sick lead in Falcon. Well, I didn't actually make it in Falcon. I just found the sound in one of the sound packs, the PX Memories one. So I like it for, a lot of guys use Omnisphere and those kinds of things. I don't have Omnisphere. I think the sounds that you can get in Falcon are a lot more expansive, but it doesn't come with as big of a library. So for myself, I don't need the millions of sounds that come with Omnisphere. I maybe use I'd probably use 1% of the entire library. So I like the fact that with Falcon, you can pick and choose your library. You don't need the hundreds of gigs of things. You can just say, okay, I want the world instruments. I want this synth and that sounds. And so you can kind of pick and choose. So it's a little bit more user-friendly, I think, when you're looking for sounds, because my library is made up of only sounds that I'd probably ever use. And I like most of the sounds that I can get out of there. So yeah, it's also cool for very specific things. Like I'm trying to go for those old school kind of leads. So if I went with PX Memories, or for example, if I'm looking for world instruments that go with the world suite, you know what I mean? So yeah, I still use it a lot for that kind of thing. I'm going to remove this instance of Falcon because I want to put Soothe on the snare, but I don't want everything to die, and something in this project is not right. So I'm going to remove some of the stuff from the previous save, if that makes sense. But yeah, I actually do need the loop, so I'm going to let this loop for a bit and come back. Hey Tom, how you doing? Drag samples from your session into the media bay. Can do enable to not sure it's possible. Do you mean into the pool? Like this? So for example, I can, or do you mean into Tom? Do you mean like into that folder? Because I don't think you can drag it like directly into the media bay. But what you can do is you can like right click here and show in Explorer, and then it opens up and you can drag it in there. 808 snare. Yes, we could do. I want like an old school like tom roll kind of thing, like a Genesis thing right at the end of the bars, or like to start like the loops at the drops and stuff. I think that could be super cool for this old school vibe. I dig that bass. I like how it's like the kind of progression has this like upward motion, and then at the end it just kind of topples down, you know. I think melodies are very important, like to have a particular direction geometrically, if that makes sense, not just in terms of like what notes you pick and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's a pretty cool way of analyzing what's happening with that bass. Topples down at the end. Cool, I'll be right back in a sec. How can the bass sound like Psy? It's like so different. It's got like chord changes and stuff. Maybe like Tick-On. I don't know if you guys remember that track by Tick-On. I think it was called 1986. I think. It had a similar kind of bass line, but I wouldn't really consider that particular track to be Psy. That is very much like, it sounds like Synthwave to me, if you compare it to other stuff. Onyx by Scandroid. Let me have a quick listen here. I hope I don't get claimed. Yeah, I want that kind of like snare with the big reverb on it. But it's hard when the progression goes a bit faster, you know what I mean? I want to like gate the tail here using this envelope follower. I think that could be really cool. Let's try that same reverb on these toms. I think that could be interesting, or at least as a starting point. Oh, the mic was on. Phil Collins toms, dude. That's Genesis. Was he not the drummer in Genesis, or am I wrong? Do I have a video demonstrating? Yes, the envelope stuff. I do. I think it's called "This Reverb is Insane." I think that's the title of this video. That video. Yes, he was. Oh, damn, I'm showing my age here. Oh, no. Oopsie. In the early days, yeah. Showing my age even more. I think we need to get into the mind of Phil Collins here. Watch a Phil Collins drum solo. I need to feel his groove go through me. Those toms, dude. And he's a toppy. That's not even him. Oh no. I'm turning that off so I don't get copyrights. Doug Zappa, have you seen that video? I think it's a Drumeo YouTube video, the longest Phil Collins cover ever, and they've set up this. I don't want to give it away, but they set up like a very long drum kit, and he goes do 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 do, and he like goes down the entire drum kit, and it's really funny. It's like 10 minutes long, just the drop. You guys ready? I think it's missing like the kick and snare from that part, like just over it. I think it doesn't need the kick at the beginning, but like this, I think. We can maybe give this a little bit of humanization by, it's not here, it'll be on the actual channel, using a MIDI modifier to kind of like randomize some velocity ever so slightly, like up a little bit and down a little bit. And then we can also humanize the, like quantize of it a little bit by going like this. And then there should be, no. They change things from time to time, and it's like, what happens? Is it here? No. But you can also do it live on using an actual MIDI modifier as well. Random, its position, I believe. And that's the amount of samples. I don't think that's milliseconds. I think the best bet would be to render out a bunch of these because there's that kind of randomization happening on the time especially. Some of them are going to be nice and some of them aren't going to be so nice. I guess it's like recording a band or something like that. You know, not always are they going to hit it on time, so you're going to have to try like see which takes are the best or whatever. So let's render this out. Rendering always takes time. There we go. I feel like our drummer started getting the hang of it here because all of these four are like the same. Maybe I'm just, yeah, maybe I'm not hearing it, but those four sound perfect. So let's maybe just go with one of these ones, see how this works. I actually don't think we should overuse this roll. I need to transition. There's a click coming from somewhere. Oh, you know what? It's probably that drum roll, like at the end of the sample. Look at that. Because of that random time, there's like a bit of tom like poking out right here. What the heck? Always check your stuff, guys. Don't fall for these little dudes poking out here. Is this 110 BPM? No, it is 115. Close though. What's up, Lil Davis? I'm gonna be right back, guys. okay, where should we take this? Do you guys think we should look at arranging it? Should we create more parts and then cherry pick and then arrange? Or what are you guys feeling for this? Do you think we should maybe add more sounds? I kind of like the simplicity of things like this, but that being said, this lead line is a little bit like complex and more of a kind of transition thing. So we can maybe create something that's a little bit less aggressive or something, maybe more like plucky. We can maybe just experiment with that. Let's actually just copy this part across, create like a couple of variation parts. Then we can just see like what works, you know, which ones are the best. It like needs the chords, otherwise it sounds quite cheesy. Wait, who said vocoder? Who said vocoder in the beginning? Somebody said vocoder. I just remembered that. Let's do Arturio vocoder. I think that could be nice and it could suit the thing because that like transition lead is a little bit like Daft Punky. You know what I mean? So we can maybe try to do something here. Yes, exactly that. But like, let's find those chords and not use those words because those words are a little bit on the cheese side of things. Let's put in these chords. go check what's happening with my connection here. I seem to be getting some dropped frames and stuff. Is it okay on your guys' side? Just had to go check if other people are streaming and stuff.
A constant flow.
Lagged a bit now, but it's stable again. Got the mom-in-law, and she's like watching videos and stuff, I think. There was a constant flow of electrons going down my Wi-Fi that I had to sort out. I really like that. It's very, very cool. But I feel like this needs to be shifted a little bit. But because of the portamentos and stuff that's happening on that chord, it's not really allowing me to do what I want to do. So I actually want to render it out and then shift it. I think that's going to be a little bit better. Sounds like a cat. A bunch of cats. Dub cats. There's no way the dub cats can be out of tune, bro. The dub cats are always in tune. I think maybe they sound in tune because it's like there's a portamento thing going on. Should we hear what this sounds like with that lead? Imagine like if we transitioned like using, so it's like the vocal thing and then the lead transitioned to the vocal thing is now the lead. I think that could be pretty cool. Miami Vice, Knight Rider, dude, that's my jams. Right now I'm channeling the thick mustache, the detective movies vibe. but with a bit of psychedelics. So imagine if, what was the guy, the Miami Vice dude? I know, Tom Selleck. That was him, right? Imagine him at a sci festival. That's the vibe we're going for, in like a pink suit. How are we going to arrange this now? Because we've got these parts that like lead into each other, and it's like 3 quite long things. Let's just see how we are time-wise. Okay, yeah, that is long. I don't think synthwave tracks aren't usually like 6 minutes. That like they're like in the 4-minute range, I think. And I think this can fill up the 4 minutes, like what we have here. But I'm worried if we break these parts up, because they like so nicely sequenced together. Just worried we might damage them, like the way that it kind of like flows. So maybe we should just play around with like slotting some of these other parts in between these and seeing if it still like flows nicely. Let's maybe, what did I do now? Move it onto the grid so it's a bit easier. And then I guess these are the same part, it's just it's got that like flow. I'm worried if we start adding like too much like percussion-y things, like too much groove in the percussions, we'll start getting towards like more progressive-y, psychedelic-y kind of sounds. But we can experiment there a little bit. I think that could be cool. I was also thinking like a swing rhythm that could come in when there isn't the more like energetic bass sound or something. But I just need to run to the bathroom real quick. With the second one, you have two versions. Would be cool if you have one with lower electron at first and a higher one with a higher note. I think I see what you mean. I think I'll be limited to actually transposing that on the audio. Svetlana, can it be acceleration of the voice or a repetition fast or a delay? How do you mean? Are you asking, is that a delay that's creating that repetition effect? Yes. That's what's doing that. for psychedelic effect. Do you mean, are you asking how I've done one of the effects here? Or are you asking how to use a delay to create psychedelic effects? You can do like a glitch hop break. I don't know about the swing. I don't know at all about the swing. I mean, it sounds cool, but it's not the vibe. If you guys know what I mean. It's a vibe, but it's not the vibe. There's a big difference. It's a definite vibe, but it's not today's vibe, I don't think. Damn it, now it feels bare without them. I hate when that happens. It's like a sign, it's like you actually need to put it in now. also going to have to call it soonish. It's my turn to make dinner again. So, yeah. Jeez, I don't know why I need the bathroom so much. I'm actually caning the water. That's probably why. For some reason I'm very thirsty today. So I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, and then I'll probably do like another 30 minutes or so. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, let me loop this for you guys. think that needs to like be filtered in. Okay, so I think like here, this is like the final part, so we can maybe use this like after a kind of breakdown or something. So I'm also thinking we might need like a little bit of a simpler lead rather than that like transition one, which is a little bit complex, you know, just like a simple melody. Maybe one that doesn't change with the chords, if that makes sense. A kind of more static thing, like a plucky sound. But I think here we may not want to give away like the total like final bass like before the drop, you know. How does this? Oh no, please don't tell me I blew something up. Please, please, please. Okay, it's working, yes. swear, that's like the curse. You know, it's like going perfect. The moment you hit record, everything is like, you forget. I've forgotten that melody. It's gone. Like, what the hell? Okay, I got it. There we go. That was it, I think. Yeah, that was the one I had in my head. 1/16 early, as per usual. Oh yeah, we don't want to give away this full bass here in the beginning. We're going to go back to the straight. What we can maybe do is at the end of each of these like bars, there's this thing. We can maybe do straight and then straight with that thing, and then break and then straight and then the full bass. 9S2. How did you make that drum fill? That's my question as well. I'm not quite sure. I channeled the spirit of Phil Collins. I put on a drum solo and it just happened. I did it in this stream though, so you can rewatch it afterwards if you are keen to check that out. It needs to start coming out here when that other synth becomes audible. Let's see how it flows. It's like usually every time you see the cursor do that, it's me pressing Control S. It's like the only thing that triggers Cubase to like do that thing. Sometimes if it's like loading a plugin or something, but like that thing is usually a visual indication that I'm busy saving. For anyone who wants to go and see like how often I do it. Yeah, I think we should go without the like extra hi-hats here and then bring them in afterwards. Sometimes also like if I by mistakenly solo something, it's also me trying to press Control S, but then I just hit S before Control by mistake. So if you ever see that in a stream, like me by mistakenly soloing something, it's also me saving. No, it should just stop on that. Boom. That was really cool. Nice. Sounding done to me. Sounding rinsed. I'm going to call that a day. That was a very productive sesh. Thank you for everyone who tuned in and gave me inspiration. B is for bounce. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to let it loop a few times for those who want to listen to the final thing, if you weren't just listening to the final thing. Yeah, thanks everyone. I'm tired. I got to go do some stuff. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. That would be very much highly appreciated. See you guys next time. Cheers.